Bam! Tuesday, Total Schmidt Show. Let's do this. Total Schmidt Show Season 3 is upon us. Tune in every week. I talk to entertainers from all over the world. Singers, dancers, comics, musicians, drummers, blah, blah, blah. All kinds. Techs, even some cruise directors. Most of the entertainers I talk to work on cruise ships. If you ever wanted to know what entertainers do, how they get through their day, any of the behind-the-scenes stuff about entertaining, we'll talk about that stuff here, as well as we'll delve into some of the entertainers and some of their works, some of their albums coming up, some of the things they've done in the past, things you can look forward to in the future. All that stuff you can catch here on Total Schmidt Show. But either way, get yourself a pizza, a beer, some bourbon, light up a cigar, or some sort of joint, or whatever type of crutch or vice you need to get through the evening, and sit back and enjoy whatever it is I put together this week on Schmidt Show. You're welcome. Hey, welcome to Total Schmidt Show. It is Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever I decided to release this video or got it uploaded from the ship. Thank you for tuning in. If you're listening to the show on podcasts, you already know this. You can listen on all the platforms. But do me a favor and subscribe. You'll get information on when we're releasing pods or when we're releasing future pods. Man, I'm having trouble talking today. I'm watching the Bears game out of the corner of my eye, too, while I do this video. You'll get information on when I release more pods if you subscribe to the podcast itself. Also, if you're watching the video in any way, shape, or form on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. The easiest way, really, to do all of this stuff, go to lennyschmidt.com, subscribe to the page. There you go. You can subscribe for free. I'll keep you updated on all the content. There's a couple paid packages. You can see full-length videos of the pod itself for only $2 a month. That's crazy. That's 50 cents an episode. No, it's not. 25 cents an episode. No, it's 50 cents an episode because I'm not good at math. So there you go. Subscribe, follow the content, and as always, Mr. Lenny Schmidt on all socials. That's how you can find myself and Total Schmidt Show. This week, Luca Ferro, who I've worked with years ago, and I got to work with all week in Vegas just recently. Funny dude from Chicago. We had a great time working together at Brad Garretts' place. Always a great time working at Brad's, and Luca was an awesome host there during the week when Brad wasn't there, and I got to hang with Luca a little bit and watch some World Series games and watch him do his stand-up. Very funny dude, man, and we had great conversations about working on stage and our approach to doing stand-up, our approach and thought process while we're working, which is the stuff I love to talk to on the podcast here. So sit back and enjoy my conversation with the one and only Luca Ferro.
I think you probably know this as a comic. Like, once you see them sitting there before the show even starts, you can almost tell that what they're going to be good or bad, if they're going to be work, if they're going to be fun, because they were sitting there like it was a church crowd. They were sitting there quiet, like they were about to have like a. And in my head, I'm going, this is gonna fucking suck, and it did. I had a hard time. You know what I mean? Like, whereas if I would have just sat in the green room and went out there with no expectations and then let them tell me what was going on, I think that would have been more in the moment for me.
Yeah, you kind of ride their wave. You know what I mean? You get them going and see what they're going to give you. Like, even when Karen said that line last night, I'm giving you way more than you guys are giving me.
Fucking
you know what I mean? And I felt it too. And just, you know what?
I feel that every show there. Every show I've ever done there, I'm like, I'm giving you way more than you're giving me.
Really? I notice it on Tuesdays for sure, and sometimes on Wednesdays. Like, the middle of the week is a travel week at Brad's place, because in any Vegas, most people travel on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, or it's like trade show people, like they're there for work.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, I guess we'll do this fucking show. You know?
There were 3 guys that were at the show last night that were at the show the night before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I saw them because I was talking to them a little bit after the show. And then I think I saw him in there. I know I saw him because I didn't address him. I talked to him from the stage the first night.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to open that door again. You know what I mean?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That people would see a show 2 days in a row.
Well, he asked me the night. He goes, are you guys here all week? Yes. And he goes, does it change? And I go, tomorrow night will probably be pretty close to the same show, speaking for myself.
Yeah.
I go, the rest of the week, then it's all over the place. I know we're moving positions. Brad's going to be here.
Yeah.
He's totally
well, tonight
crazy.
You guys are flipping, right?
Yeah,
tonight is
we're
Karen.
flipping. So she closes tonight, and then I'll feature. But we're doing the same amount of time all week.
No, yeah.
We're each doing 30s and 15s.
Well, I don't know if you hear me in the beginning. I go, we have a co-headlining show, which I think is fair to say. You guys are both doing the same amount of time.
And the smart thing, it makes it easy for me if we're doing 30 every night. I go, well, fuck it. I'm doing 30 every night.
Now when Brad comes in, you can do the same amount of time too?
No, we each do 15.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he's two, which makes sense. And then so the whole show's Brad and then us out there. And dude, you want to talk about mental? This club.
This is what I hear. Everyone, when Brad's in town,
dude. This club has taught me more about being present than anything. And for me, it was an improv thing because improv is about being present and listening. So when I'm on stage, I'm always listening. I'm always listening for something to do besides my act.
Sure.
So if something happens, I'll react. I'll do whatever. So, but when you're on that stage, you got to be in the moment. You can't be thinking about the show before you. And if anything teaches you that 100%. Lesson, it's going up after Brad Garrett. Because Brad,
I believe that,
destroys for 30 minutes.
Oh, I've seen it.
It's pow, 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 pow. Hey, you're first guy. And then you're before you know it, you're out there.
And really trying to he almost tosses your set like it's a, and this I've never experienced it, but like this is just what I've observed. He'll toss like he's handing you car keys. He's like, all right, yeah, you take it for a spin.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know, it's not like, hey, you're gonna love the shit out of this guy. He's a good friend of mine.
He sets him up. He sets you up pretty.
He
good,
does.
Dude.
Okay.
He gives you a real good intro.
When I saw him, he was like, "Yeah, this next guy, I'll be right back." And then
he talks all his people up because he knows what it's like to go out there. You know what I mean?
No, that rocks. I mean, he is just such a generous guy.
He's unbelievable.
You know?
Yeah. The more you meet him, he's just the nicest guy in the world.
No, he was really complimentary and take a picture. But every time I complain to anybody at this club about like, oh, I'm kind of having a hard time hosting. I'm trying to figure it out. Everyone's like, follow Brad, man. Follow Brad, and you're gonna get fucking rocked. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm sure,
Karen and I were talking about it last night. It's like you've got to mentally put it out of your head, and just know that that's the deal. It's 15 minutes, so you can go up there. You're not gonna lose it in 15 minutes. You know? What I mean?
Yeah, that's so true. But it really is such an honor to play there. It's so fun.
No, it's a blast, and then he's funny about it, and he fucks with you, and you know, it's just the whole show is better. You know what I mean? The whole night is.
Oh, I bet, and the crowds are better. They're excited. I mean, just you know. People seeing a famous person.
Yeah.
That makes half their trip.
Sure.
We saw the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond, and then you guys are just like cherries on top. You're just like, oh, we're having fun.
Yeah. Plus, Vegas has a ton. I got friends that live in town here, but there's a ton of people that are in those ticket clubs where you get tickets, you buy tickets. If you live local, you can get discount tickets to shows. They got regulars that come in here all the time. Just to see Brad.
I have heard that.
Like Brad's here. Like I don't know how many we'll see this week because I don't know when they made this change. Because when I originally booked this, like I said, I knew Brad wasn't here.
And you're thinking about moving here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking about moving here next year. Actually, Diane and I, we're going to look at some places this weekend.
Well, I mean, being the fact that you're, such a cruise ship guy, I do think this is like, it's the perfect place.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Great. It's travel-wise, it also just the type of crowd you're going to be seeing, you know what I mean?
The same crowds are here. Yeah, they're the same identical crowds. You know what I mean? They're just older and younger. That's the only thing you skew them. Here, sometimes they tend to blend more. You know what I mean? Older and younger.
Yeah.
And the ship, they usually stay within an age range somewhere. So, but that's the deal.
You said on the ship, there's a wider age range?
It'll be an age range. So, like, the longer the cruise, the older the guests tend to skew. Most of them are 50, 60 and older, like on a long cruise. Yeah, they can only afford to take 2 weeks off work. You know what I mean? Or
I didn't think about that.
Or they go to places that some kids aren't into, like Alaska. A lot of 20-year-olds don't want to go to Alaska. That's not their thing. They're beaches.
See, that would be the one that I want to do.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I do Alaska every summer.
Really?
I'm up there all summer.
Oh, that's going to be so pretty.
Dude, it's gorgeous.
Have you met Jim Flanagan?
Yeah, I know Jimmy.
Yeah, Jim, he just, I think, recently did Alaska for the first time.
Oh, I talked to him before. I was there when Fritz did his last show.
Yeah, bro. He said that, I mean, the pictures I saw you posted, I mean, it looks like something out of like Legend of Zelda, man. It's like a fucking,
it's ridiculous.
Amazing landscape, and then you get to do some cool shows, and it was nice.
Yeah, there's some cool, plus I'm a big, like in those sports, I'll get off and go hiking in the mountains.
That's what he was doing.
Dude, it's just unreal.
He said he helicoptered like a glacier.
Yeah, you're expecting like a deer to hop in on your and talk to you. You know what I mean? It's one of those deals where, you know what I mean, we're so beautiful. It's like a Disney. Oh my God, this is like beautiful. Like, I've never seen this before. Animals everywhere, you know. Just,
yeah, and you get to do comedy getting there.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, it was the greatest. It was a great gig. Yeah, I love doing the ship thing. I think it's good. I just do 99% ships.
That's I mean, it's definitely something I wouldn't shy away from. It's just something that I don't think I'm ready for. Like, that amount of time and that amount of, like, specific type of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, their big thing is, well, the clean stuff is, first of all, you got to have a good 45 clean.
Yeah,
near a ship, so.
Clean and also like because I could probably do clean. I probably can't. You know, I think I've heard someone say that like when you are doing comedy, you should try and reach people 10 years above you, 10 years below you. Okay. Like your audience should be like, and if you could get more than that, then God bless you. But like, you know, you could only think in your generational way. You know what I mean? Like, right. So if I find myself like even if I'm writing clean, I'm still writing clean for people that are in their 30s.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I'm
right.
trying to expand that to get everyone to understand. So it's an interesting challenge. But like if they're all 60 years old in Alaska, that'd be hard for me.
Right.
Even if I had the clean material.
They're not all like that, but some of them are like Holland is a line where there's a lot of people. There are a lot of older people in Holland.
Yeah.
Carnival skews younger. Celebrity, it depends. If it's a 7-day cruise, you're still getting some pretty, probably around the 30s to 60s range, or 30s and above. On a during a 7-day, so people will do that.
And now, when you're in LA, when you first moved out there, where were getting up?
I was getting up all over. I was regular at the Improv. I didn't do much at the store, but I did all the clubs in the Valley. But I hung with the Improv constantly. So that was
you and Schubert are friends, yeah?
Huh?
You and Jimmy Schubert?
Yeah.
I love Jimmy.
Jimmy was a comedy store guy though, so I met him.
Yeah.
But I hit him after the fact, and then we became friends. God, 25 years ago when he was touring with Sam.
Sam
Kinison.
Yeah. I said talent. He's like, not.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Kid. That's awesome. I didn't know he opened for Kinison.
Yeah, he was the first time I met him. The first time I met him, I got high with him. Him and Carl LeBeau. You know Carl LeBeau?
No.
Okay, Carl was another guy that opened for Sam. And before he started doing comedy, I saw Sam live at the Comedy Store, and Carl opened for him, and so did Pauly Shore, and I can't remember the third comic off the top of my head. But Carl, I was blown away by Carl. I had no idea. It was my second live comedy show.
Is he still around, or is he dead?
No, he passed away. He used to live here in Vegas for years.
Wow.
He had a late night show he was doing across at the Trop. But he's one of the guys. I've never seen a guy work an audience better than Carl. He's amazing. And Jimmy's the same way. Jimmy's like, he owes a lot to Carl. Carl's was Sam's best friend.
Yeah.
Opened for Sam. And anyway, the first time I met him, I was blown away. I see Carl start doing comedy a few weeks later. I run into Carl and Jimmy at this club, and before I know it, I'm getting high with these guys in the parking lot. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm getting high with Carl LeBeau, man. This is the coolest fucking.
That is cool.
I just saw him on stage 6 weeks ago. Yeah, it was a trip.
Yeah, that's a fun part about comedy is like you see people that you really idolize, and then you get the opportunity to hang out with them at least.
And Jimmy's one of those guys.
At least for one time.
Jimmy's a hustler, dude. Jimmy's a fucking. That guy always finds work. I mean,
I'm
a harder working guy than Jimmy.
Even
Schubert.
on stage, he works. I've never seen a guy I've seen audiences not that they're maybe tight or they're they're not necessarily like his demographic, and he will just bulldoze them until they go, I fucking love this guy. Like he's just just absolutely relentless.
Yeah. No, he's definitely a bigger than life guy. I've featured for that guy. I don't know how many times. We used to do it all the time at the old Zanies in Mount Prospect, and I worked with him a bunch of times then. But then the last 2 times I was here, I featured him here.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was. I worked with him at Zanies. It was a treat to work with him.
He's a power. He's insane, man. He's great.
And you had Caponera on this podcast too, yeah?
Yeah, I did crap yesterday.
I worked with Caponera once when I first started comedy. My parents, because we're both from Southside Bridgeport area, and my parents were all like, my dad, I guess, knew somebody that he was like in the conversation of they're around the same age, so like when I had an interest in getting into stand up, my dad was like, hey, you should reach out to Caponera, talk to Caponera. And I remember Bert at Zanies. I remember I maybe was like 3 months into comedy, and I reached out to Bert, and I was like, who was the booker at Zanies for context, but I was like, hey, I've been doing comedy for a couple months. Caponera does his Thanksgiving show. I was like, is there any way I can maybe just like perform on it? Like I didn't even know what like a guest spot was, and he was like, yeah, no, you're out of your mind. You know what I mean? Like you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, Bert was very receptive.
But I remember being like, oh, this guy, like my dad knows this guy. My dad would come out and see him here in Vegas. I think he played at like Caesars or something. And then eventually I would say maybe, I don't know, right before I moved to New York, maybe like 4 or 5 years into comedy, I got to do the Thanksgiving show with him, which was like a full circle. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
really cool.
And he was so funny.
Yeah. Oh, he's a scream, man. Cap is the best.
Coming at you.
Yeah. No, we worked together on a bunch of shifts together. He's funny. He's always been funny as shit, man. He was so good with the kids. There's kids and family shows. He's so smooth. He'll ask a kid a question. Some kid will answer. He'll go, hey, kid, where are you from? The kid will go, I'm from Indiana. And Cap will be like, Indiana, get out of here. And the kid goes, no, seriously, Indiana. He goes, no, seriously, get out of here.
No way.
Right now. Yeah, he did it to kids all the time.
That's so funny.
I would laugh so hard. You do it till the kid got out and goes, sit down, I'm kidding. Yeah. It's such a Caponera thing to do.
No, that's super funny.
Oh, it's very funny.
Yeah.
Kid would be all confused. He's like, no, seriously, go. Get out of here.
That always confused me too, the concept. Flanagan was just telling me that he did a cruise and like there was a bunch of like he did the first show, and then the second show, he's doing kind of the same material, for the whatever, I forget what line it was, but I guess what do they call it? Like the guy who's in charge of the entertainment at the
cruise director?
Yeah, the cruise director was like, hey, there's a group of like 10 rowdy kids in the front audience, like just be like weary of that. And it turns out like he did the show and it was fine, but they were like, oh, we just were at the last show and we loved you and we wanted to see you again, but I mean like the fact that like a bunch of like whatever 15-year-old kids are interested in seeing stand-up comedy, I think is really like out of the ordinary to me.
Dude, dozens of times I have kids come up, someone will be like, this is my first comedy show, and you think about that because you become desensitized to it when you're on stage every night. You don't realize how cool it is to see someone on stage telling jokes anymore. You know 100%. What I mean?
And also, coming from my experience, like I live in New York. I live in the Village, and a lot of these shows that we do, or at least when I was first moved there, you have to bark. You have to like stand on the corner and be like, "Hey, we got a show. We got a show." And like, it's the only place I think where it's conducive because in New York, especially in the Village, there's so much foot traffic, and there's so many people looking for something to do. And the Comedy Cellar's around the corner, and they sell out. So if you get people
you get spillover,
you get a spillover. So and so you start to, but you do it so much that you start to like see people that you would want at the show and people you wouldn't want at the show. And like NYU is right there.
Right.
And if you see a kid and you smell any sort of like NYU freshman year, they're 18 years old.
Yeah.
You're just like, dude, like please don't come to this show. Like just because they end up being like a group of like 18-year-old girls at a comedy show in the Village. It's just like the worst comedy audience members on the planet. Like they just want it really because the place doesn't really check IDs. So like they just want a place where they could drink underage and fuck around and like they'll just absolutely consume.
Right.
Why aren't you talking to me? You're talking to, you know what I mean?
Center of attention time. You're like, oh my god.
And you got a thing that you're trying to work on, and I mean you know
now you're working. Yeah. Now you're just working the crowd.
Yeah. Now I'm talking to you. You know what I mean? I've done that plenty of times. But
I did one. Like the longer like I was had this conversation. I did a show last week on the celebrity ship. And the biggest compliment I can get is when a bunch of 20-year-olds come up and they tell me they thought I was really funny. You know what I mean? Because I'm fucking 60, and that's how you keep working. You go, you're talking about your 10 years below and 10 years above. You got to have a range. You got to stay young. You got to stay relevant to the younger people. And you know what helps as you get older, honestly, is kids. Now I write my jokes through my kids. It's all about me dealing with my kids.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So I just introduced that into it, and I never play the these kids today are idiots angle. I play it the other way around almost. Like I can't understand.
Yeah,
my kids
you're the dummy.
Yeah. And which works with the younger
crowd. I
crowd.
think that's a more. I was just talking to my friend on the phone. It was a really funny comic. He we were talking about like there's a lot of cliches of different types of comics, and like I think definitely like an older black comic is you can play a game of how many times they go, man, fuck them kids. They're it's always fuck them kids, and you're like, why are you having kids just to be fucking mad at them? You know what I mean? And older white comics do that too, in the sense of like, but there were older white comics are more like back in my day.
Yeah, I try to stay away from
the
that.
swing set used to fucking strangle you or whatever whatever it is.
It's because it almost turns into. Did you ever heard of a guy named Jerry Grossman?
No.
Okay. Back in the day in Chicago and earlier, the late boom years, 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys who worked the Chicago area, Midwest, Indiana, all of it. He was Jerry Grossman. The Human Jukebox was his thing.
Okay.
And he would go out and do a song, and everybody would sing along the song. And it became a parody because if you start doing an act like that where you're going back in my day, suddenly your whole act is, remember rotary phones? And everyone's like, yeah! And it's all just button pushing, whoever, and you're bringing all this.
It's a pandering
But
thing.
Jerry's whole show was, remember this one? And he started the chords, and they would all sing. You know what I mean? And everybody loved him. And he was just a human karaoke guy.
Well, who's that guy out of Chicago? He's changed his name. He was the Midnight Swinger. Now he's
oh God, Jimmy knows him. You're right. He's the romance guy. I just saw his name somewhere else.
He's a goofy guy, but he does that. His whole act. I mean, I don't know about his whole act, but I know a big portion of it is doing like throwback dancing things.
Yeah, remember when? Which I mean, I guess it's David Scott is his name.
No, he has like a funny name. He has like a stage name.
Oh, he's Mr. Showtime.
Mr. Showtime. Shout out Mr. Showtime on the podcast.
Because he had to change it. There was some sort of copyright issue.
Oh, is that why?
I heard the story.
I thought it was like I don't want to be. I want to be less dirty.
Someone told me.
You know what I mean?
No, someone told me it was some sort of copyright issue. I don't know what the.
But look, man. I mean, like the way here's what I always feel about comedy, and I know we're talking a lot of shop, which you said that you're cool.
No,
but,
I'm actually really great with it.
Yeah. Well, like my thing is like. People in my universe, like in my age range, they're obsessed with, like Kill Tony and sort of these like TikTok comics, Matt Rife, and they see that in the cellar, but like. I've worked with plenty of people that like there's club like we'll take a drive out to Atlantic City, for example,
right?
And it'll be a bunch of New York comics, and we hop in the car and we go to Atlantic City, and we're performing for a very similar demographic of what's inside Brad Garretts,
right?
And they're going, man, you know how Brooklyn girls are, Brooklyn, and I go, they have no idea.
Yeah, right.
You know
what
I mean?
Right,
they have no. I go. These people are from North Carolina, and they're 75 years old. They don't like just to. Everybody needs to laugh, and everybody laughs at something different. Comedy is like music. You know what I mean? It's like you need some, it's like my dad, who's 76 years old, it doesn't want to listen to drill rap. He wants to listen to fucking, Willie Nelson, right? So it's like, just because I think people are really quick to label somebody as like a hack because they do throwback shit and but like, that's what you're connecting with these people on. And if that's your audience, that's your audience. You know what I mean?
There's enough slice of the pie for everyone. There's a lot of people to laugh out there. So
100%.
People always like this. One of the things people bag on people that cruise, and I'm not a religious cruiser, but I work on ships every week, and I get it.
For sure.
Totally get it. But there are people that are just real strict about going, and then people who are just as strict about not going, and how ships are a problem, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what do you care? Let these people cruise. Let them. Why does that bother you? Or the good example, I hear this more on the ship than anything. You do those clean shows on the ships, and it's not just because there's kids there. There's sometimes that people that just want to see comedy that's not filthy.
Oh yeah.
And I've had people come up after the show and go, "Thank you so much for not doing." I go, well, that's the job. That's what we do. We do clean shows. If you want to see adult, that's later. And then we'll be an adult show. But otherwise, you work clean. And that was, to me, I like working the shifts for that reason. I like doing both. I don't think people.
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, you're your own independent creative person, but like you are a product of the audiences you perform for.
Right.
So like if you're performing for only cruises, your act is gonna be more reflective of a cruise ship audience, right? But like if you're someone that is going, okay, I'm gonna do a spot in the city, I'm gonna go to Chicago, I'm gonna do a spot, I'm gonna go and do a spot in Vegas, I'm gonna do a spot in the East Coast, West Coast, you're gonna be a more versatile performer,
right?
Because you've just done more things. But I don't think there's anything wrong with either one.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know that, but that's where guys I think drop the ball. Is you got to find a way to walk that line and do both. You know what I mean?
For sure. But I think there are people that don't.
Oh, I know. I've got friends that are just ship action. They're like, I only want to work.
But I think that's okay. But you just have to accept that that's your thing. You have to accept that if you go into, a club downtown in a liberal metropolitan area, your back in my day shit ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Because guys like me are going, I don't know that day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. No, you got to find a way to connect with that audience.
100%.
Yeah.
And there's one more thing I was going to say about that, but I don't remember. It's a hard thing, and that's why I try and come down here. Like this is the challenge for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's why the challenge is always good. Like I try to do a lot of different. I used to do open mics in LA every once in a while, which are fucking brutal.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate the quality.
I used to book one for a while. I booked one. I did it once a month. I did this gig, and I stopped doing it not too long ago. But I'll do clubs, and you got to do more shit. Take yourself out of your box so that people can't look at you and go, "That's a ship act. That's a city act. That's a this." That's
right.
A
yeah. I think that ideally you don't want anyone to peg you. You want an audience, and I've also been trying to tell myself like, but as a creative person, like right now I'm at Brad Garretts Comedy Club. I'm in Las Vegas, and I want to do the job.
Yeah.
There's something like redeemable about doing the job that you're assigned to do.
Right.
But part of me is also like, if you take Brad Garretts out of it, I'm like, hey, if these old people don't understand me, I'm okay with that.
Right.
Because I'm, I don't want. I think when you start comedy, you want everybody to like you.
Right.
I want everybody to get. But then I think the more I do this, the more I'm like, well, I want the people that I'm talking to get me.
Yeah, you want to hit your voice. That's all. You want to hit your voice. And once you have your voice and you have your people, and that's real significant on a cruise ship because none of them have paid to see you.
Yeah,
they're just there.
And how long have you been doing this?
The ship's 15 years. Comedy
in general.
38.
38. Yeah. So I mean, I'm 7, right? And I think I'm just starting to get a handle on like what my voice may or may not be, and I'm trying to refine that. And I think the past 2 years I've spent in New York has really like accelerated that.
Of course.
And it is sort of like a constant struggle with me of like, well, do I do the thing that I believe in, or do I do the thing that I know they're gonna like? And like the artist in me is going, I want to do the thing that I believe in, but then the host at Brad Garretts, and they're paying me and putting me in this fucking suite, is going, do the thing that they like. You know what I mean?
The shorter amount of time you have, the harder it is to sneak new things in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a host, I've always hypothesized that like a host gets like, they get like 3 minutes to be themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
And then you get like 10 minutes of doing hosty work.
Yeah.
And then your last 3 minutes you go, and here's a thing that I actually give a shit about.
Right, exactly.
I'll let you chew on that.
Yeah, because at the beginning people are just settling in, then they're getting their drinks, then you're there,
They're
then
going
you're host.
Yeah,
now it's a show, and now you're breaking the wall, and then before you know what I mean? So.
And here specifically, I also think there's this thing of like, they're sitting down and they're going, should we have saw Copperfield? Should we have went to Ka? You know what I mean?
Do you think about that when you're on stage?
Not while I'm on stage, but I think about that like as in general. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, think about all the outlets of entertainment here.
Oh, there's a million things I know.
You know what I mean? They're like they're sitting there. You know, like I think in any other city in the country, they're going, tonight we're going to see a comedy show.
Right.
And that's what they've planned.
But here, you're right. They're only here for 5 days.
Here
like,
they're going,
I got this or Cirque.
They're here for the fucking weekend. They're here for 2 days. And they're going, we could either see Ka,
yeah,
or we could see O, or we could see Penn and Teller, or we could see Luca Ferro and Lenny Schmidt at Brad Garretts.
You just raised a whole new level of pressure to this gig. I never even thought about that.
Really? Oh, I think about that all the time.
No, I thought about every other thing about it, but that one part about it, I didn't even think about that.
And that's why it makes me go, okay, I'm going to give them the what they want, because it's like, tonight, my goal tonight, and I'm manifesting it right now, is like the past 2 nights I've been trying to like intermingle my new material I've been working on with like sort of like what I think that they would like. And I think tonight I'm just going to be like, I'm just doing this all for you. Like whatever I think you're going to enjoy, you know, sort of my more hokey stuff, I think is the thing that I'm going to give them, you know, and I think it's going to go well.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's just my.
Well, you do whatever you want to do. Cindy's not going to be there tonight. Ed will be there.
No, that takes a lot of pressure off.
Yeah.
Shout out Cindy, I love you, but you scare me.
I'm more afraid of Ed.
Oh yeah, no, me and Ed have gone out every other day.
I love Ed. He's a good guy.
He really is the best.
Yeah. And he knows a lot about. They know a lot about the business. It's very interesting. Ed and Zach, those guys are really.
It's like a mafia. That whole place. I mean, it's a whole family.
It's a tight family, dude. Yeah, you know what? Cross one of them.
Yeah,
you know
I have a younger.
When you're talking to one, you can feel the other one staring at you from somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you're talking to, Sarah, Zach, or Ed. You're like, where's the other one?
And Sarah somewhere. Yeah. I my younger brother is. We have a similar age gap between Ed and Zach and me, and my brother's name is Enzo.
Yeah.
And usually when I'm out here, and my brother's gonna come out Saturday, I think. You know, he usually comes out, and the 4 of us hang out.
All right.
And it is such a funny dynamic of just like the similarities and differences between.
Yeah.
Well, you do comedy with your brother, yeah. I mean, you know, what's the age difference there?
Just 3 years. 3 years.
3 years. You're older.
Yeah.
Okay. And did he get into comedy after you?
No, ironically, I swear to God, we started the same week within a 2-day time.
No
period
way,
without
together.
telling each other. No, he was in Tahoe. I was in L.A. And we were talking on the phone.
He was where?
He was in Lake Tahoe.
Oh, really?
He moved up to Lake Tahoe with a guy who had a gambling scheme. It's a great story. He should tell it, though. He goes up there, and it all goes south. And it's like people gave this money to bet on football, so Mike was just hanging with them, and it all went south. So they had to figure out how to make money in Tahoe. So he ended up staying there for a while, hanging out, and then one night just did stand-up. So I'm talking to him on the phone. He's like, you're not going to believe what I did this Wednesday. I go, you're not going to believe what I did last night. And we both did stand-up
No
the same
way.
week. I swear to God.
That's insane.
Yeah, and then over the first few years, I did a lot more because I was in L.A. So I was up, you know, back then there were
Lake Tahoe
7
versus
clubs
L.A.
everywhere. You know what I mean? There was the 3 or 4 improvs within driving distance of West Hollywood. You know, back in that time.
Yeah.
So you could do a lot of stage time, like all night, every different rooms, and then all these other bullshit side rooms and the Fudge Cafe and all this joints. So I went up more than he did. He only did it like once or twice a month, but I did a lot.
Well, what's your opinion on L.A.? Do you think that L.A. is like because I think I told you when I first came on Monday is like I went to L.A., I went to New York, I went to Austin to visit, and I felt like L.A. I was like, man, like for a guy like at my level, I don't think there's much here for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, it's either you're a guy like you that you're established with the places you work, and you know you're on the sea, you're on land, you have your spots, and then you go back out and you're working, or you're literally the most famous comedian on the planet, and you're at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do.
Or you're like a niche 1 or 2 door guys.
Yeah. Well,
and that's
no,
it.
you'd have to work your way into the LA system. Also, if for a comic, I think New York would be better.
That's why I picked it.
I've heard that a million times from other guys. There's more play. You can walk around the city, do spots. LA's tougher to get into those clubs. You got to hang out at the store.
Yeah.
I still never really got into the store. That always bothered me. Like that was the one I wanted to be in on.
I've been there. It's such an iconic place.
Oh, it's great. I played there a bunch of times, but you can play there still not be a regular there.
Yes, I've heard this.
And I did. Mitzi turned me down twice. So back in the day, I just never got on the roster.
Yeah,
I always wanted my little things.
The name,
wall,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I want shit like that.
I
so
get that.
It's gone because then I went back. Even they told me point blank years ago they're not going to put me on their schedule because I'm not what they're looking for. I'm already established, working.
Sure.
You know what I mean? They'd rather give spots to someone that's younger, going to be in town, not a guy who's going to be on shifts all the time.
Yeah, yeah. And then you and your brother started at the same time. Is absolutely. Did your brother end up moving to LA then? He
did eventually. Yeah, we worked together on the road for years.
Wow.
Where he would feature.
Yeah, I met you two both together.
Yeah.
In Zanies.
Yeah, we worked together for a long time.
I'm pretty sure that was maybe like my first or second hosting.
Was it really?
I really think so.
Okay.
Like where they're booking me. Did you do a weekend? I don't even remember.
Yeah,
like
I
think it was a.
Mike and I did it. Each of the last 4 years we've done a weekend downtown or a weekend.
I think that was like my first hosting weekend with Zanies,
Yeah,
which is now my home club.
This was the first time I went back there and did not record a new digital download.
Really?
Yes, because usually I go back and there's taping and cameras, all kinds of shit. So this time I didn't do it, but I'll do it next time.
Yeah, I mean it's a great room, man. I mean my brother's a musician, so like I think and he's also a pilot. So we see.
So this 24-year-old brother.
He's 25, yeah, but we see eye to eye on a lot of things. But it is funny how we probably compare his aviation career to my comedy career more often than we compare his music to my comedy.
What do you mean?
Well, just like becoming a pilot, right, is from my understanding, and this he can probably talk your ear off about this, but like it's all about hours in the cockpit. Yeah. It's how many fucking hours do you have, and I think being a comedian, at least a good stand-up, take away like fame and getting lucky and having good opportunity. It's like how your skill level as a comic is how many hours are you on stage. Yeah. The only difference is that he's logging them in a fucking journal.
Right.
And I try, and I've somewhat adapted that. Like I every day I wake up and I write, like I do like a little like reflection of like what show did I do last night? How did it go? How much time did I do?
That's good.
Smart. And yeah, I mean, just for me, because I like the idea of being able to go back and being like, oh man, I was here.
Well, I tape the shows, bro. So I'll listen the next day and I'll log it. Sometimes I'll log it, and that way I know. I like to know the time of my
Captain's log.
bits. You know what I mean? All of it. And then I like the newer stuff. I listen to it, all right, let me drop that, move that. So I work on my new shit.
Yeah. So like, I mean, that's probably the biggest one. But I mean, even the relationship between like he'll talk about like he'll have a great landing and then he'll stand out, outside the, how like pilots will stand there and and then he'll have a horrible landing and then he's hiding in the, and that's exactly how I feel with comedy,
that's
right?
Really funny.
If you crush, you stand outside and you're like,
how you doing?
Hey, yeah, that was me. And then like the past 2 nights, especially at Brad, I've been like, I'm going to sit in the green room for a minute. I'm going to let them clear out. You know what I mean? That's, which is, there's that comparison. Also the relationship between like the co-pilot and the pilot, it's like the headliner and the opener.
Right.
Like that really is like, hey, the captain is deciding what the fuck. Like when we land and we have a layover, captain's going, hey, we're going to this restaurant.
Right.
And I'm going to pay. And
really?
You know what I mean? And I think that's a relationship between a headliner and a feature, or an opener, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. I never even thought of that.
It's a lot of stupid shit, but it is It's like anything, like you can draw parallels, but I find more than not that the comedy in his aviation career is you could draw a lot of connections.
Well, the experience thing makes sense too. Yeah, I mean, you want somebody behind a plane who's been flying a bit,
100%. I mean, like he, he just got hired with United, and I think he's got over like 2,000 hours, and you need like all that
plus cheap airfare for you, right?
My mom's a flight attendant, so I've had cheap airfare.
Oh, dude, I envy you.
We have an aviation family.
God, good for you, dude. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. It changes everything.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's right before this gig. Last week. I went to my mom had a layover in Milan, so I went to Milan with her for like 27 hours.
No way, really?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it with her before. I fly in, we go shopping, I get my hair cut.
No way.
We get a nice meal.
Best, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, look at you. That's fucking high. That's top shelf bragging.
I'm such a mama's boy, but I'm like, man, like, what a fucking experience. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what, man, I was being such a fucking baby too, because you get spoiled. Like when we fly standby, right? So it's like if there, especially international. So like if there is a seat open, I get it.
Yeah.
Right. So like if there's, and no one's buying a last minute international ticket to Milan, right?
Yeah.
So you could look beforehand and you could see what seats are open. And the only reason why I considered going in the first place is because my mom was like, first class is wide open.
Right.
She's like, you're gonna get first class. If you come to this thing, you'll probably get first class. There's like 3 seats open.
Okay.
And I'm going first class to Italy. I mean, fuck. Like
Why
I mean, that's like
that?
fun. Like
I want to do that right now.
Yeah, it's not even work. So, but I get there, and sure enough, someone did buy or upgraded the last minute. So the first class is gone, and they told me, they're like, hey, by the way, we had all these seats open. Now there's 2 seats open. There's and the one you're gonna get is it's you and then a baby and then a baby and then a fucking mom with another baby. So it's a mom with 4 kids under the age of 4, and then me. And I'm going.
Are you in the aisle or where?
I'm not even on the plane yet. I'm in the terminal. I'm going. Hey, Ma, I don't know if I'm gonna come on this trip. I mean, it's fucking 9 hours, and we're there for 24 hours.
Sure.
I'm gonna be on this plane with this baby, man. And I'm going. I'm gonna sit next to this baby for 8 hours, and I was gonna get first class, and I'm going. I really don't think so. I mean, Mom, I think I'm going to go home. I really don't want to. I mean, it's a lot of, and my mom's going, get the fuck on this plane or I'm going to kill you. I ended up getting on the plane. They were the most well-behaved children I've ever seen in my life. Thank God.
No way.
I was crying beforehand more than the baby was. You know what I mean? I whined more than the fucking baby. Yeah, it ended up being great. I'm happy I went. But at the time, it's like, but how fucking ignorant of a person do I have to be like, I'm not getting first class.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to Italy.
Italy.
But that is kind of how, like, well, once you've done it so many times, you're like,
once that's your life, though, that you've done it a couple of times.
You fly first class to Italy. You don't want to fly first. You don't want to fly any other way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really.
I know. It's all
and I don't deserve it. There's nothing I've done in my life that deserves it. You know what I mean?
I'm saying it's great. I know I don't deserve it.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying
I'm going, fuck. They give you a chocolate sundae and a meal, and your seat turns into a bed. You're like, why would you ever want to sit in the back again?
And I always get the meal whether I'm hungry or not. And it always there's free food. There's something about free food I can't turn down. Like if I have a sandwich and get in a plane, they're like, you want the steak or the chicken?
Yeah,
like the steak. Bring the steak right now.
Well, there's something about too. Like, I mean, I've been sober for 2 years. I haven't drank, but every once in a while there are drinks that are offered to me.
Right.
That are really, like, I would say, like, if me and you were downstairs right now and you're like, oh, you want a beer? I'd be like, I don't drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not hard.
Right.
But like if you're in first class and they're like, would you like a bourbon or a cocktail?
Yeah.
That's a hard one to turn down.
Yeah,
that's a hard one to go,
like,
I don't drink anymore. You know what I mean? Like that sucks. But I would say in terms of like top 10 types of drinks, a first class whiskey going to a different country is a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's pretty
Or
good.
like a port wine or something.
Yeah, I stopped drinking on flights because it dehydrates me. I've got some bad fucking jet lag stories about getting drunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, just drinking too much on a plane. So normally I don't drink, but if I get a good bourbon or something flying overseas, I'll do it in a heartbeat because then I'm going to sleep after that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What are we thinking? How long we been going?
I don't know, man. About 40 minutes. It's a 40-minute podcast. We can wrap this up now. Let's wrap this up now.
Whatever you want to do, man.
Dude, are you're based in New York now? That's anything you want to plug
from Chicago, live in New York City now. My name's Luca Ferro. That's LucaFerro, 2 R's, and my Instagram is my name, Luca Ferro Comedy. That's probably where I post the most shit. I mean, I'm on all the other apps and shit too, but if I try and post one comedy reel of me doing stand up a week, which is, it's not, people are doing once a day, but I try and favor quality over quantity. So I'm going 1 a week is my goal. So follow me. I try and post content. I'm pretty active. So any support is helpful.
That's it. All right, we're out. Thank you.
You're the man.
Thanks for doing it, man.
Thanks, Lenny.
You're still watching? That's amazing. Nobody does that. Nobody, but you did. That means you want more. Pick one of these clips. Go for it. I dare you. Hey, also follow one of those social media thingies.